Everybody, boys and girls, hello there. My name is Rich, and this is the Two Guys Tech HomeLab Hour. It's Tuesday, and this is the day of the week we do it. I'm going to take this out of my ear so it doesn't look like there's something wrong with me. I was looking at the chat a little bit ago. Apparently, coffee is the IT fuel of choice. I suggested White Monster. Hey, Dave. Hey, Aragorn Strider. Like, Allison, everybody's in the chat. It's so good to see you guys. Yeah, so last week we had the great Tom Lawrence on here. We had a good time talking to him. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Tom is such a great dude. Like, no matter what, we can talk for hours about everything from AI to virtualization. Like, it's a good time. So, Kevin, welcome. We got a great chat for you going on. We got a great lineup, actually. So let's get the housekeeping stuff out of the way like I always like to do. This is, the HomeLab Hour is all about, like, hanging out with people like me, like you, and talking about HomeLab stuff, talking about what's going on with the channel, asking questions if you got HomeLab questions and you want to get answers, stuff you saw in the video and you're like, what's that all about? Like, this is the place to do it. We have a Discord, and that's where I highly recommend you guys go after the show is done. I pop over to the Discord and we get on a live chat and we all talk over each other for a good, hour or so. Just kind of like an after hours kind of hangout chat. This show is brought to you by Spaten Optimator. And this is my favorite beer, by the way. If you're wondering which Rich drinks, he doesn't really drink this often because it's so powerful, but it's my favorite Doppelbock from Germany, Deutschland, as they say. Anyway, as Brandon is behind the scenes, turning the knobs, making sure that this goes smoothly, so he's helping me look good, and I appreciate him for that. And one last bit of news. Next week, I am going to take off a week. I'm taking the family. We're going to go to the Oregon coast. I'm in Oregon, so it's not like I'm going too far away. And we're just going to have this is my family vacation for the year. So it's going to be nice, going to be quiet, kind of not do any YouTube, not going to do any of that sort of stuff. Just kind of like disconnect and see what shakes out, right? That's a good time. So anyway, thank you. Gamer of Dave said, love the recent video. Some NVMe love. Yeah, absolutely. I do want to talk a little bit about this guy right now. This is the TerraMaster D4 SSD that I just released a video on. These videos, those kind of videos, they don't do super great because, I mean, you're talking about a niche sort of deal, like 4 NVMe SSDs, all USB 4.0 or Thunderbolt 4, 40 gig connected. Like, you're kind of a special use case, special kind of person that needs that kind of stuff, like me as a content creator creating content all the time. Anyway, yes, get to the coast, Jason. That's where it's at. So let's get right into it, shall we? I think that's enough. I do want to know why my screen just went black. There it is. Cool. I like to start these things off with a personal story. So I got a few, like a mixed bag sort of thing. So I just had a birthday a couple days ago. Yeah, I'm not looking for happy birthdays. I'm not saying I had a birthday, and as you do when you become of a certain age, and if you're one of the certain ages, I'm 46. I'm an adult man in his mid 40s. Womp womp. Anyway, I had, to go back to the doctor for his like yearly annual physical. And they're like, wow, we haven't seen you in a long time. Let's take a liter of blood out of you. So I'm like walking out going, oh, a little woozy here. So if I'm acting a little loopy, it's because I'm light on pints. No, I'm kidding. But I wanted to share something with you guys that as the personal side of things, something I've been working on, and get your opinions, because that's what I like to do. This is like very feedback-ish, right? I say a thing to you, say a thing to me. You guys have seen this forever. This is, as I step on my earpiece there, this is the 2GT. I mean, this is a nano leaf. I've had this forever, and we kind of co-opted it to be like, it's the set. And I've had it for years. Like it's been, and it's old, but it does a good job, and it's been a good system. And over the Prime Day deal, the Nanoleaf people had a deal on some newer ones, so I built a new one. Still same design, because this design, my head fits perfectly right in the middle of that. Boop. So I feel like this is as much a logo as the actual logo. Anyway, let me show you this new thing because these are a little different. So these panels now, it's black. So this is going to be a bit of a different change. And I haven't updated the studio in 6 years since I built it, basically. So these panels are black. Let me show you what the new thing looks like. Give me your opinions. It's the same design, so don't I'm not going to go crazy here. All right. There it is. They're darker, right? They have a little bit more, they're evenly spaced. I built this entire rig so I can hang it because this other thing is just like stuck to the wall like child's play. Anyway, these, and I'm touching them, and these are touch sensitive, which I don't like. I can't, boop, 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 you can't really see it, but same, you know, can control it the same way. It's, you know, they're intelligent. They've got all their cool things, but this is going to be thinking right here in the middle, instead of using the green screen insert, thinking about putting a display, like an LCD display. Look at this. I can almost frame the old thing in the background. Anyway, this is what I've been wasting my evenings and weekends on, doing this sort of thing. So maybe you'll see that soon, put up in the wall and get rid of the old one. All right. That's the personal stuff. Don't fall down. Don't break. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay. I'm back. Look at that. Okay, we've got some pretty cool stuff to talk about, like I said. So, I'm excited about these things. I'm a little worried that they're going to be too dark because, you know, cameras and lighting. It's always like I have to flood the place with light, but we'll see. They're really cool though. Anyway, let's kick off with the previous stuff first. So, last video that went out yesterday. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It was about this guy here. Brandon, you want to bring up the? Let's get it on the screen here. I don't know why you decided to do that. So let's refresh that. Cool. Throw that up on the screen. There we go. So this is the TerraMaster D4 SSD, and it's right here. And I've been using a Outer Worlds, that's the name of the company. I think it is Outer Worlds 4-bay NVMe, and it's just been, it's been a struggle, but especially because the Outer Worlds 4-bay NVMe storage device, direct attached storage device, is USB 3, so it's a little bit slower. And they've got their own proprietary software, which they require you to pay for on a yearly basis to like configure it. Once you install it and you use it and it's configured, you don't need to pay anymore. But if you want updates and patches and fixes and stuff like that, and it's not that great. This thing is a world of difference. And what makes it really fascinating to me, you know, you can see it in the thing here on the side, is that if we scroll down here, they obviously want to sell it to you as a like connected to your Mac Mini, because the Mac Mini needs more storage, which is absolutely true. But like I said, it does everything from Thunderbolt and USB 4 all the way down to the old stuff. If you want to plug in something old and slow, you'll still be able to use the drives. And when I pulled it out of the box, I really felt like this thing was going to be, if I'm not going to lie, it's like I think it was going to be garbage, because it's just plastic. And we'll do this real quick. So I'm going to just go back to the full screen here. There's a little, like there's on the back of this thing, there is a USB plug. There's a barrel connector, which got some laughs because this is not USB host bus powered. It's not. You have to give it that 12 volt power to get this thing up and running, which is interesting because, you know, if you think about it, the USB 4.0 has got tons of power potential, right? So that's kind of a weird decision on their part. But it comes apart with a thumb screw. And once you remove that thumb screw, you can pop it from the bottom and go whoop. And then here's what I was talking about. It's just like that. It's just a plastic sleeve. And then you got this guy here, which is really nice. Those are just my drives. I had NV2 Kingstons laying around that I was from a previous build that we did here in the show or the channel, and it blew me away. Like, Allison says those big NVMe's take quite a bit of power. That's fair. You're not gonna be able to power, and maybe that's the reason, Allison. That's probably a good point. You point that out, that you can't really power it off the bus if you're running on a slower, less than, you know, an older USB-C or USB standard, right? There's not as much wattage in it. But we've got this guy just to talk about a little bit about the performance. That's not the right one. Boopity. Let's go here. There it is. Cool. Thank you, Brandon. These are just some metrics I did, and I use a Mac. Everything I do is on a Mac, guys. It's just easier for me, right? And using Final Cut Pro, it's just what I was born this way. It's just the way I showed up. And in Final Cut Pro on a Mac, because there's no RAID on this. This thing is just straight. There's just a PCIe splitter or a switcher on it, right? And it just does its thing. And so that means that your RAID functionality is going to have to come from the operating system. And if you're on Linux, you can use a litany of variety of different like OSs, or not, excuse me, OSs, but like file systems. You can use ZFS. You could do anything really. Mac OS, that's not so much the case. You basically have a RAID 0, which is essentially striping across all the drives. RAID 1, which is mirroring across all the drives, which is not so great, as we can see from the stats. And then just a JBOD, which is essentially you fill up one disk, you go to the next disk. You fill up that disk, you go to the next disk. You know, it's concatenated, and so on. But in the RAID, the RAID 0, the striping, this thing just flew. You can see the little in my Blackmagic Design disk speed test that I used to show it off, like the different formats that it's capable of managing in image video formats. It was nearly 3 terabytes of throughput a second, and that's on the read side. The write side was a little under 3.2 terabytes, or excuse me, gigabytes. Yeah, woo, that'd be awesome as terabytes a second, but no, 2.2-ish gigabytes a second, which is just amazing, right on the right side. Just mind-blowing throughput. And it really put my Outer Worlds system to shame. So, in fact, the video, just inside baseball, in case you want to know, the video that I made was actually edited on said thing. That's how meta is that. I'm making a video about a thing as I make it on the thing. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, if you're looking for that sort of thing, and I think you could use this, it's compatible with everything. Like if you want to use Windows, use storage spaces, which I don't have any experience with storage spaces, so I'm not going to really tout it. But because they just show up as 4 individual drives, you can treat them as you want. You want 4 individual drives. You want to make a RAID 0 like I did. You want to do a ZFS, RAID Z1. You can do it. You can do all those things, right? So, as you can imagine, there's a whole lot of potential in there. But Brandon, want to switch back to the D4 website, D4 SSD website. And there's some odd things that they like. I stopped right here, but I'm not sure why they mentioned that it has a voltage compatibility of 12 volt to 20 volt. They give you a 12 volt adapter, a little wall wart thing. So why would you have a voltage? I think they're probably like, this system can support it. So that's a marketing gimme. But I've had good and bad luck with TerraMaster stuff. Like this guy, fantastic. The last TerraMaster NAS we looked at was great too. The one before that, not so much. It was a better true NAS box. But and the last thing, it is super quiet, dead quiet. My older system, I had to put a 120 millimeter Noctua fan in and build a new enclosure because it was just so loud. These things are whisper quiet. They're just super quiet. So I guess the long story short on that is that highly recommend it. And I'm going to, Brandon said to me, he's like, you should hook that up to get that into Franken NAS and you can have some more storage. I'm like, but I want to use it for making videos. So, but yeah. So Allison thinks, because replacement power supplies are a thing. That's true. Yeah. I mean, you could, if you had a range, but it's always a kind of a mixed bag when you're trying to replace a wall wart with a different one. And you have like the center pin diameter is different. Barrel connector sizes are all different, but yeah, you should. Game Over Day said you should feel like you jump in here for Terry. I'm surprised Terry's not in here to tell me how this could run Hyper-V, and that's just could be. So moving on, I am excited about something that's coming up, and because I can't seem to just keep things to myself, I want to include you guys. So let's talk about this. I have a piece of gear coming. This piece of hardware right here. I have a Minis Forum BD790i X3D US board coming for review. And Mini ITX got this badass Ryzen 9 7945 HX3D on it, right? I got some stats. We'll look at the stats in a minute. Just a really great looking board. I mean, I'm sure it'll be great, but it looks like it's pretty damn impressive. Minis Forum is kind of marketing this as like a gaming motherboard, which, I mean, I'm not a gaming channel, so it's going to be used for like a home server, HomeLab stuff and all that kind of shit, because like, what else would I do with it? Like, I'm not going to, hey guys, oh, Roll 820 said Hyper-V is trash all. Yes, I feel your pain, sir. I absolutely do. Just go to Proxmox or XCPNG, or if you have to do it for work, do Nutanix or somebody like that. I want to get rid of this. Why is this dude showing up down the bottom? Anyway, looking forward to this. Now it's got a heatsink, but no fan. So, I'll have to, slap something like a Noctua NFA 12 Ace by, I can't remember what the new one. It would, Jay-Z Jad said, good board and also running a stack of UM 790 Pros from Minis Forum for virtual isolation cluster. What do you run on? Let me know what you're running on. Fascinated to know if it's just onesie twosie independent stuff. Are you running Proxmox? Are you running XDP&G? What do you run on it? Let us know in the chat. But yeah, so this is exciting. And look, I could play Dirt 5 or Cyberpunk 2077. I don't have any interest in that stuff. But I did want to show you, like, just it doesn't come with RAM, so it's going to need RAM. It has two NVMe M.2 NVMe KA. It's the Kubernetes crew, everybody. Kubernetes crew is in the house. But I had the in Frankennass over there. I have that other Minis Forum system, and that guy is running a Intel Core i9-12900 HK, right? And the comparison between these two is stark. Let me enhance. The Passmark's benchmark for CPU put this thing over twice as fast, right? 55% better, right? And so I'm really looking forward to see what this thing can do. It's the CPU, again, laptop. Well, we were talking with Tom last week, like laptop CPUs seem to be like the future of this stuff, like in terms of low power, but also, 16 cores, 32 threads, no E cores, none of that like efficiency stuff. We're going all the way. I think the board has a 200 watt maximum if you were to fill it up all the way with all the things and all the stuff. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's like the chat is just blowing up. So Jay-Z Jad said Proxmox cluster beats running some power edges. Yeah. I agree with you. Although my garage server rack is full of big iron, as I like to say. So I'm very partial to the big iron, but lots of power and performance and potential. And it got me thinking, we look at this stuff, review a lot of stuff. And for the most part, a lot of it will sit on a shelf for me. So, yeah, Roll20, you're right. It's laptop CPUs really are, they're become the real, MLG, right? They really are their MVP. So here's what I'd like to do. I'm going to do this. We're going to make a video with this thing, and we're going to build out a, like a badass HomeLab server, like a single box, all that kind of stuff. We're going to go and we're going to look at cases. You guys are going to help me make a decision on what case to put this thing in. And, what did Shadow Technology say? PSA kids, when you buy motherboards off eBay, make sure you have the correct RAM, not the supposedly supported RAM. See, okay. Sounds like somebody's having a hard time with their HomeLab server. It's dead. So let's look at some server case or some mini ITX cases. Now the objective here, and I want you guys, this is an interactive thing. I'm going to throw them up there. We're going to look through these things. You guys can yay or nay me in the chat here, right? We'll go through a few. I just went to the Amazons and said mini ITX NAS case, and surprisingly, there are a lot of options. John's Bow is one of the big ones. So if we can get all this stuff like figured out, I have an idea here that after this video is done and everything's done, I think I'm going to do a big giveaway and give the whole box away. There's some hard drives, some NVMe's in it, and the whole thing. So we'll work on the details. You and me, all of us right now, we'll work on the details. But let's start looking at a case, because one of the weird joys I have when I build computers is that, it's like, obviously you care about what CPU is going in, what main board, what GPU, all this stuff. Like, that's important. It absolutely is important. But like, how does it look on the outside, right? Anyway. So we're going to start at the first tab here, and we're just going to walk our way through these tabs because that's what we like to do. So I don't know why you're doing this, Amazon. This one is not available. So we're not going to show this one because I can't in good faith, but it's an interesting idea. It looks more like a tube. This is the John's Bow N1 Mini ITX NAS chassis, 5+1 disk bays. As you can see, it takes 5 3.5-inch drives. It has no room for the add-in card. And this board here just let's talk about some of the like minimum requirements. This board here, and one of the things that no matter what, it's going to be something that I'll want to like leverage. That's the back of it. Let's see here. I don't know if you can see this so well. Can I just click on this? No, of course not, because that would be easy. I would like it to be easy. There's a 16x PCA slot here, right? Enhance. Woo! I don't know where this guy. Hello, guy. Go away. But maybe you can see that a little bit better. But there's a 16x PCIe slot there. So whatever case that we want to get, we want to make sure that the case can support shoving a card in there. And even got like a recommendation from Jay-Z Jad there. We've got a Fractal Node 804. We'll look at that one and see if I've got it in this list here. And if not, we'll pull it up. All right, so let's go back to this one. So this is not going to work. It's neat, although I think that laying a mini ITX like case like this is, it's like a loaf of bread made out of aluminum. I don't dig that. You guys dig that? That's just not, it's not for me. So I'm going to executive decision that one and say nope. Okay, this one came up earlier. An 8-bay NAS. I've never heard of this company. Oddhide. Yeah, so this guy right here, what do we got? So this is an 8-bay NAS. Looks like it's got, it's all SATA, which all these cases are going to be SATA based. They're not going to be SAS, which is a bummer. It'd be neat to be able to see if you could find a backplane that you could slot in there that was like an old 4-bay, or, you know, yeah, 4-bay, like from a Supermicro or something small like that. You could get your SAS connections. Just make sure that the drives line up. But see some better photos of this. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's like they slapped wood on the front. This feels like an afterthought in terms of the way that they're like, we want some wood on this, because John's both putting stuff with wood on. Let's put wood on. So it's like birch-esque looking thing here. Yeah. Allison said, oddhide. That's a weird name. One of those Chinese companies whose name is a face roll on the keyboard. Yeah, there's a lot of that. That's the way it is. So, but I do like this, that it's got actual disk caddies in it, right? You pull off that, I'm guessing that's a magnetic front cover, and you've got actual disk drive caddies that come out. That's nice. Okay, so an arrogant strider threw something in the well, yeah, we'll pull that up too and throw it on there. So let's actually do that now, since I had the forethought to make sure that I had our Discord stuff set up so I could grab it. See if I can find it. Let's find it. Okay, I found your tri-tip steak. Where is it? Hey, would you at me in the Discord so I can see where that's at, please, when you get a chance? Anyway, back to this. So, yeah, so we got here 8 bays. 8 bays is a nice amount. And we have, looks like we have, let's see a back shot. That's not what I want. Give me a shot of the back of the case. There we go. So we've got some half height mounts there. There we go. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, it's under video suggestions. Absolutely. All right, let's pull that up here. Ooh, that's cool. That's 3D printed. Hey, did you know I have a 3D printer and I make stuff? That's not a bad idea to... the question will be, would people want a 3D printed case though? But that's a really neat design. Got drives in the bottom. Looks like there's 4 in the bottom. I'm not sure what he's doing with. What is that? What is that thing? Oh, it's an LCD display. It's an actual display that he's got in there. Okay. Look at this thing. There's 5 on top, 5 on the bottom. You might have just made this thing even more of an interesting build now. Okay, I'm in love with this, but I'm still going to look, because this is really neat. This is nice. It'd be cool to shove a display in there too, right? To put a little display on it, to have all that together, that would be awesome. I'd love to see this guy's final. Is there a final build down here? Okay, I want to see your build pics. If this ends up dropping on some crazy like adult website, it's not my fault. He's got imprintables, which is easy for me. That makes it super easy. Let's look at your photos. Okay, so we saw that. These are models. You guys don't care about seeing the models. Yeah, the guy did a good job. Oh, that is the display right there. That is legit. That is seriously nice. That is seriously nice. We got another Sakura threw one in the chat here. By the way, these guys are dumping this in the Discord. So Corey, that's $500. And to put it, and this is an extended ATX case, compatible case, to put this tiny little ITX board in there. I mean, that's nice. I like this. But man, oh man, that's a big case. Yeah, that's a lot. Let's go back and look at this. So because this is really appealing. So look at this. This guy, like, trays for fans to slide in. It's stackable. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so this is a contender. If you guys think that this would be a good contender, that'd make a really super cool video. So I think I'll add that to the list, regardless if we end up going that route or not. Let's go back to this. So let's go back up here. Why is it dropped to the bottom all the time? That's my search, friends. You don't see the search I was doing. All right, John's Bow N3 Mini ITX. This is a 8 3.5 and 1 SSD. The thing that I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't know how I feel about how it looks. It just looks like a nondescript cube. Holds a ton of drives. A ton of drives. But so the other one. The other one, I guess technically the other one was an 8-bay as well. But it was flatter, right? This is much higher up. But it's got a really, I think it shows so there's 2 full height add-in card mounts in the back. This board only has 1, but you could put a double wide GPU in it if you want to, or more NVMe's, which is most likely what you do in HomeLab. But this is a nice box too. And I totally lost my chat. Let me minimize this real quick. I just lost my chat. Technical difficulties. There we go. Cool. Okay. Okay, what did Geek of All Trades say? I feel like the image of the N3 case on the desk is misleading. That's got to be bigger than it looks. Hell, yeah, I agree with you. This is a little, I mean, I don't know. You smash a bunch of 3.5s in, they're about what? About an inch thick, give or take, right? So if you were to really just jam them in there, and this photo does not give us any, I mean, they look like they're almost on top of each other, right? So you can see a little bit of a gap there. If you start looking really close at the first 2 drives on the left, you really kind of get a good idea for, the how tightly spaced they are. So that's a lot of drives. And I feel like if you're going to build a HomeLab server, it needs to be able to have the capability of holding a lot of disks, right? I mean, well, you say zero cooling, but if you look at the back here, it looks like it's got, I can't tell if these are 120s or if these are 80 or 90s. I'm leaning on the side of 80 or 90s and not 120s, which means it's probably a little bit louder. Yeah, those look like 80 or 90 millimeter fans right there. Yeah, and again, but the case is kind of nice looking, right? I mean, it's okay. Let's move on. Okay, so we got a so opinion on this one. I'm not feeling the love, but I'm also not feeling like it's terrible. Moving on. What's next? Okay, 4-bay, admittedly smaller. It's, as Allison said, it's the odd hide. Welcome to Odd Hide, everybody. So 4-bay case, still SATA, of course. Again, these are all going to be SATA. This is let's click on these pictures here. Let's start at the front. So things I've noticed, it's got caddies. I think, let me know in the chat if you think that caddies are valuable or not for a build. If you look at the stuff made by 45 drives, there's a lot of people who don't like caddies. Like, put the drive in, make it connect. As long as you can pull it out, good to go. Yeah, you can get a lot of filament for $80. Thank you. I that's true. Well, not as much as you think, but I could print quite a few of those cases. The thing I don't like about this case, look at this one as we're looking right now. I like the fact it's got the, it's got caddies. These caddies remind me of the old IBM, like, if you remember the IBM server caddies back in the day. They just, imagine the blue there. Well, they were blue too, right? They were blue and then they became red when Lenovo, whatever. But it's got USB 2.0 ports in the front. I feel like this is one of those what moments where you're like, what do you, why? But I digress. It's there. So we looked at this a little bit. Yeah, we can see that they're just SATA interfaces in the back. It's got no expansion slot space, and that's, I feel like for me, that's a big deal, right? We got more people saying stay away from odd hide, and because of poor quality, not well thought out. I respect those opinions absolutely, since I've never had any hands on them, right? But excuse me, beer break. So all right, so we'll give a thumbs downish on the odd hide. Hide, am I saying? Jeez, I could spend like a half an hour just trying to pronounce that. Moving on. What do we got next? All right. It's another odd hide. I'm sorry. Look, this is what's out there. This is an 8-bay, and it's got caddies, similar caddies to the other one that we just saw. I mean, basically, this is just a different form factor. This puts looks like it puts the ATX tray on top and the bay is on the bottom, kind of like we saw at the John's Bow get up. It looks like it has knockouts for the add-in cards, and it looks like there's lots of, so this is probably quite wide. There's a lot of good space between this, plus a bunch of gap over here for some reason. Yeah, it's 310 millimeters wide, so that's not super wide, but clearly it's wide enough in the back that you can. I wish they would show some good solid shots of the top. Are they suggesting you use green drives in this? Because that's I don't know what they're thinking there. This looks like an abomination label, like 2.0 terabyte, and then they like wiped out the vendor. Enhance. This is what I want to look at. What kind of drive is this? Don't put green drives in your NAS, friends. That's just not what you do. Put some reds, put some Iron Wolves in there. Do CMR, not some SMR drives. All right. All right, so that's this guy. There's things I like about this one. I got to admit, I think it's ugly. I'd almost land on the side of it being kind of fugly, right? I mean, it's not nice. I don't know if this takes, like Sakura just said, that could take SAS drives as well. I don't actually think it can. I don't think. I mean, the interfaces can be SAS or SATA, but it doesn't show the back of it. I just don't know, unless I misread. Let's go and dig down inside here. SATA, it's just SATA. All right, moving on. Burning off our time here. I have to say that the N4 here is classy AF. Look at this. I mean, is it not really good? I mean, come on, guys. Yeah, like Jason just said, John's Bow or Fractal, but I mean, this thing is nice. What do we got here if we look at it? So, got a nice, probably fake walnut trim, or maybe it's real wood. Who knows? It just looks. This is the same computer desk, by the way, as we saw with the other John's Bow. They're just like, oh, we're just gonna put the stereo. I mean, it fits. Same speakers, so I'm saying. This guy holds 6 3.5s and 2 2.5s. Which I find to be an interesting design choice, but I'm guessing they did it because you can see down here, enhance. You end up running out of space for your cables and your cable management, which is my guess why they did that. Is 6 drives enough for a all-in-one home server NAS combo box is the question. I mean, it should be. If you throw just a couple 20s in there, you're good to go. But you can see it better here with the 6 3.5s and the 2 2.5s. So Aragorn, I'm telling you, I think that's a great idea. I am in love with that idea. I started this whole live show thinking I want to see what everybody thinks of these cases and come up collectively with that idea, and then you went bam and just totally knocked me sideways. So yeah, my brain is thinking, my mind's going. I could do it. Could do some really incredible stuff with 3D printing. But back to this guy here. I do love this look. I do think that this is a really classy looking case. And I think that, oh, there it is. Like no caddies. And if you're a fan of no caddies, that's fine. It's got 4 knockouts. Look, are those knockouts? I can't tell if they're knockouts or not because there's a cover over that. But either way, lots of expansion space there. Mini ITX. And if you're not into the dark color, they've got this classy white. But classy white for a HomeLab feels weird to me. I don't know why, but I feel like the servers should be, either dark colors. But yeah, Shadow Technology Silverstone has a NAS tower case as well. I looked at that one and it is redonkulously expensive, just wildly expensive. And this is, I mean, I think this is reasonable for what you get out of the box, right? You can put your SPX power supply in there and you got yourself 6 bays. The 6 bays thing is just a little weird though. But yeah, this is not a bad, I mean, this is a pretty nice looking case and a pretty good deal. So here's the Silverstone. This is not the one I think you were talking about, but this is bigger. This is more like a little, do you guys remember the Mini X from TerraMaster? By the way, do you guys know that TerraMaster IX Systems, the company who owns TerraMaster, makes it, rebranded themselves as TerraMaster, so TerraMaster now makes TerraMaster. It's TerraMaster. You guys probably saw that. It was an email that came out last week. So this is, those don't look like they're actually like caddies, or I feel like they're just covers, but I don't know. Screw, if they did, drop that link to the video. If you're talking about this specific Silverstone, this is typical Silverstone, right? It's like, it's got a lock on it. I don't like when they put their logos right in the front. That almost, even if I did like, I don't necessarily particularly prefer this or like the look of this, but I don't like giant logos on the front of my computer case, because if I'm going to pay for it, let me brand it myself, or not brand it. How about that? So this has no backplane, so this is just a case. This is this is basically just a computer case, right? I mean, it's a small form factor NAS style case, I guess you said. It's just got a lot of mounting bays for it, and these are just removable knockouts. I don't think that actually, they're not part of a tray. If they had trays, I think we'd see it. I'm not sure what this is. I have no idea what those are, but whatever. But it locks. That's cool. It's a nice little box. It reminds me of the Mini X Plus. And if I Mini X Plus, I don't even know if TerraMaster is, yeah, Amazon's still going. Okay. So this, I mean, ignore the price, because this is actually from TerraMaster, and I don't know if this actually comes with, we'll see if it comes with storage. I think this just comes with the box and the motherboard and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, we reviewed one of these a long time ago. So this is a, you know, a 5 bay plus a 5 3.5 plus 2 2.5s. You can buy these cases, although they're really, really hard to find. I have seen those. Now you guys can see my, look at my eBay search. It's all servers and computer stuff. Brandon was trying to make me buy this server, and I kind of want it, but I don't want it. Mini plus case. Give me case. Or give me phone cases. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on here. Let's just do the plus plus. What do we get there? Yeah, that's not helping. That's not helping at all. Yeah, okay, well, that didn't work out. Good times. We'll ignore that one. We'll head back over here. So where are we at with this guy? So Silverstone, and then Brandon dropped a few in there. This is an interesting case, but this is not a NAS case. And so I feel like that's kind of one of the downsides of this, is that it's just a computer case, and it's basic, or a Mini ITX case. It's neat. It's small form factor, and it make a great computer case. Wow, look at all that stuff packed in there. As an aside, my last computer that I built, which was a 5900X, I think it was 5900X. It's in a Mini ITX case, in a really tiny one, and eventually the heat that it produces just became too much. So I don't really want to shove stuff in a tiny case anymore, even though it's really awesome to have that sort of all right, so that one necessary. And then I think next was the Fractal's making some really beautiful cases these days, aren't they, guys? What's this? Mint Is that a mint? I would say that's mint, but that's not what they're calling it. But again, with the wood. But this is not a... this is not going to have enough storage space in it, is the problem. Unraid Sagittarius NAS 8-Bay. What is that? The chat's throwing stuff at me. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, let's throw it up there. Unraid 8-Bay. Okay, so we got an AliExpress link. Let's see if this is the case. Unusual traffic. Okay. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Let's see if we can get a... Oh, that's a terrible photo. Can I get more enhancement? Oh, just stop sending me things. That is... you have to let me know, Adam, if this is the case you were just talking about or not. That's a cube. Does... Oh, does that drop down? I really want to enhance. Enhance. This is killing me. It's the best thing to do. You know you got a problem with your online shopping experience if your watermarks are sharper resolution than the photo that you're placing them on. Whatever. This I thought maybe would mean that would like open up. I'm not sure what this little thing is, but it implies that it does. But it'd be really nice to be able to see. I want to see. Show me the inside. Show me the damn disc. This is the same thing. This is killing me. We have a better photo of this. It does open. Okay. All right. Let's go back here to this and see if we have any better shots. What is this? The Aries 8-Bay NAS. It's kind of classy. I don't want to continue to AliExpress. Just I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm always a big fan of like monolithic flat metal structures. I mean, I think Apple has ruined me that way. But what else we got in this? Show me some. Oh, that's it. This is the only photo. Again, the watermarks are a higher resolution than the image itself, which is I appreciate that. That was really well thought on their part. Oh, oh my goodness. There we go. Much better shots. Okay. But show me with the door open. Show me. So this kind of stacks everything in the left half of it, or I guess the right, depending on how you're looking at it. Again, I can see the drives. I can literally see these. No, go back here. I can literally see the drives right there, but I just want to, why wouldn't you show me the damn drives? Oh, it's killing me. Killing me, Smalls. All right. So that's another option. I mean, the downside is it's AliExpress, and I always feel weird about using AliExpress because I'm not sure I'm going to get the things that I ordered. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, but you know, it's always a possibility. Lots of people selling the same thing for like. Would you like it for $336 US or $150 US? Maybe for $128. Who can go lower? Look, we got for $90, ladies and gentlemen. Can we go lower than $90? No, we're starting to get into the side quest stuff. Oh, got it. $89.40. There we go. With no interest. Oh. As we scroll, we continue on. All right. Stop wasting my time on that. How low can you go? It's a game show, ladies and gentlemen. How cheap can we get the Sagittarius 8-Bay case for? Right now, $77.81 is the lowest number. Can we go lower? 80? No. 200. We're going the wrong direction. Ooh, look at this one. Oh, that's a server case. Or not. It looks like it'd also be sitting on a shelf case. I like that. It's not. I don't think it needs those handles if it's going to be sitting on a desk. Oh, those are just part of the rack here. So, okay. But we're going the wrong direction. It's mini ITX. Why would we get a nice big old case like this? That's a full ATX case right there. That's what that is. And there's drives on the inside too. Whew. It shows 12 up front, but then if you look here in the side shot, where's it at? Come on, Billy. Where'd you go? shows even more right there. But those are probably 2.5 inch. But you can put a ton of drives in that thing. But that's the wrong direction. If we're gonna be doing this thing and it's teeny weeny and no thank you, if we're gonna be doing this, we can't be putting it in a giant case. That just kind of defeats the purpose. But all right, so I'm still like Aragorn got me stuck on this now. This is, as long as when it falls over, if it was to tumble over, it wouldn't explode into 1,000 pieces. So you'd have to see how it's. I'm going to dig into this just on my own. I'm going to dig into this because I feel like this could be a really potential, because then you could use that 16X slot and put an NVMe in it. And then you could those are direct cable drives. So I think that's the downside, but I love the idea of putting an LCD display in it. Just the possibilities. This is why I love 3D printing. This right in the air, that thing. Okay. I think that I spent a significant amount of time. Like I said, I want to build this. I want to build this now. Let's go. Let me go heat up the Prusa. We're gonna fire this off. Yeah, I'm just gonna go here and go bookmark. And done. Got that. Hells yes. Gonna save that for later. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I think that this is probably a terrible idea as a giveaway, but I think I'm gonna do it. I think that's gonna be the answer. All right, we're getting close to that time. I did want to talk about two things, or I'm using one finger, but two things here. It does look cool, doesn't it? It just looks cool. And yeah, that's right. Like Sakura said, throw your links into Discord to the Two Guys Tech Discord, which is free, by the way. You can get on it for free. It doesn't cost a single thing. And I'm not going to sell you anything on it. It's just, let's see for you. All right. We got a late ad. Okay. All right. It's a 5-bay. It's, can I see some bigger photos? You're going to, hold on. Enhance. That's too much enhancement. That's way too much enhancement. I really just wanted to see pictures of this, and it's not going to let me see pictures of it. So we're just going to have to look at these teeny weeny pictures. Okay. Golly. All right. This is also SAS. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a SAS case as well. So we could put some, those costs of those enterprise SSDs, the SAS SSDs are coming down like mad. So so we got drive caddies. I'm kind of partial to drive caddies. I know people aren't, but I'm partial to drive caddies. There's a different angle. So it looks like we'll hopefully look inside here in a second. Looks like the ITX board's on the bottom, which is fantastic. I have no problem with that. Oh, side shot. That's not very exciting. It looks like it's full-size ATX power supply, 4 add-in card slots in the back. They're full heights. Full heights are nice. And then the IO shield for the board mount there. What is this? Comes with little, I'm guessing those are like 50 mils. Maybe bigger. That's really hard to tell. I'm guessing that's for cooling, so that's an interesting. Okay, more keys. We need keys, guys. Keys are important. All right, that looks more like an 80 or 90 millimeter fan there. But that'd be something I'd swap out for something a little more quieter, because I imagine that Silverstone fan is probably quite loud. Depends on we'd have to see what sort of like airflow requirements, static pressure is required to pull across those drives. So this. All right, I'm calling the bullshit factor here. So this thing clearly says 5-bay SAS 12 gig or this, unless there's a purchasable version that is SAS. Those are very much SATA ports, not SAS ports, and therefore survey says that's a lie. Those are SATA ports. So that's not gonna work. I mean, it'd work fine. Got some fans in the front there too, just pulling some air through. I can't tell. Oh, that's on the back side. That must be that's their additional airflow at the back. Those are 40 mils. Okay. Yeah, those, and they're not knockouts. Big fan of cases that don't just create knockouts. Knockouts suck. All right, we're looking at the same things again, even though. Okay, and we got another. Okay, so this was another one that Funky Mark just dropped in the Discord there. Hot swap. Okay. All right. I'm interested. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Are these okay? Show me more. What is that? All right, Funky Mark, if you're in the chat, you gotta explain what this is. I'm not sure what this, unless it's just a means of opening the case. Yeah, but Sakura, mini SAS to HD to SATA, they're in the end they're just SATAs though, right? So if that's the case, just go straight SATA. When somebody says that they're SAS, I believe that they're serial attached SCSI, and therefore you can get access to, you know, bigger drives. But that doesn't feel, and they're just shoving drives all over the place in this. So, open image in new tab. Does that work? Okay, there we go. This whole like looking around thing sucks. Okay, so there's a back plane there, looks like, and I want to see better photos. Come on. All right. Let's get a handle on this. Okay. Interesting. Okay. The board is mounted in, what's that called? Transpose? Is that right? Where you trying to think what it's called. When you transpose a main board, it's flipped the opposite direction, right? Interpose, transpose. I can't remember. Okay. Funky Mark says it's a narrow width DVD drive slot. Okay. That makes sense. It's, look at this. Those look like covers though, and not like actual. They're just covers for the drives, is my guess. Transverse. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Transverse, transposed. It was one of those words. Guys, we got there. We did it, fam. Teamwork. We made it. We made it work. So, okay. Transposed. Whatever. I think it's transposed. But whatever. I like that this got a bunch of ports on the front of it. That is nice. I agree with that. Full size ATX on this guy. It comes with fans, great. But I really, really want to see that backplane, because I really don't. Oh no, they're actually okay. I stand corrected. Should have scrolled down. They're actually, I guess they're caddies, right? I guess they're effectively caddies. They're just more like trays that you slide in then. So, which is fine. That's really cool. Oh, we are getting some BioStore. Keys. Silverstone loves their keys. Silverstone, the key case company. Prodigious accommodations. That's cool. So cool. But I really want to see. You can really. That's. If you want to turn this into a transcoding or gaming PC, and that's a nice case. I dig this case. The CS382 is a nice looking case. I agree. This just doesn't. I don't believe it. I just do not believe. I don't have the belief. Okay. All right. We're getting close to wrapping this up. I just want to talk about these two things. These two news items are hilarious. This one, because last week we had Tom on, and no, I'm not just name dropping for shits and giggles, but we had Tom on, and we were talking about AI, right? Especially like jobs and all that kind of stuff. And this was something, and Brandon had sent me this article, and I'd also read it somewhere else, about this guy who was using Replit to vibe code himself an application. And the application, we read down here, he's like, the system worked. And then he built this thing and he was super jazzed about it. And then it deleted his database with all of his data in it. And then it lied to him. And said it. I like that we haven't even, guys, technologia. Things are going so fast that now the AI is even like lying about doing the work and breaking stuff. So, but all right, you guys are talking in the chat. That's not for me. Okay. So, yeah. So that was fascinating. And this one right here, this one hits home for me. And I know if any of you are enterprise IT administrators, or you don't have to be an enterprise IT administrator to know that there's a go patch your SharePoint servers. You guys know what SharePoint is. If you don't, You are such lucky people. What is it like to live in a world where you don't know what SharePoint is? Because if you live in that world, I mean, God bless you. But at any rate, so all right. Well, Shadow Technologies wants me to look at another case. Let's find the 804. You know what? I started this. I'm gonna keep going. All right, where is it at? Let's see. You said the Node 804. Let's look at. I know Brandon hates when I bounce back and forth, but I gotta do it. Node 804. Let's look at the Node 804 from Fractal Design. Okay, kind of looks a little bit like a mini fridge from the outside, but that's not a bad thing. It's a nice looking case. The entire top is perforated. That's nice. It looks. Is that front open? Okay, so this looks like up to an MATX case. Deny, I don't want your cookies. Full size PSU, which makes it easy. And then a spinny wheel. How about the next photo? Can we get some? Let's look at this. Come on. Apparently, I'm not allowed to see this, guys, unless my internet just crashed and you all are just. I'm just talking to myself here. We'll see. I see the chat still moving. Okay, we just don't get to see big zoomed in photos, so I'm just gonna have to enhance. Even though enhancing doesn't make it any bigger. All right, so which way do they load? So these look like they just sit in there. They look like they're hanging. Show me potato salad. Okay. I mean, this is a nice case too. The fact that it doesn't front load though, kind of like if we're making like the perfect home server / NAS / all-in-one box, this looks like a great computer case. But like you'd have to tear it apart to get your drives out, and that kind of. Do they literally mount like vertically like that, like they're hanging? Sakura, I thought you had the best internet. I have the fastest internet. I don't have the best internet. The best internet is one that doesn't go down. But my internet's not bad in this case. This is just Fractal Design's website. All right. Anyway, let's go back to this. So here's the thing about this and why I want to point it out. Microsoft is really keen on like getting this patched for 2019 SharePoint and newer. And anyone who is, 2016, 2013, 2010. Yeah, there are people still using 2010. They're in trouble. So this is one of those things that if you work in a company that uses SharePoint on premise, you should get this, or firewall it, take it off the internet if you're sharing it publicly. If you're using a load balancer in front of you doing this stuff, this is a pretty crazy thing. And because I bounced back and forth, I ruined this. So anyway, thank God I am not a SharePoint 365 admin. I am infrastructure. I feel you. SharePoint, but SharePoint's a relic in my opinion too. Since everything's gone SharePoint online, it's a lot different world. It's just like friends. How about this? Friends don't let friends run a mail server or Exchange on-premise server, and friends don't let friends run SharePoint on-premise anymore either. Anyway, let's. I'm going to wrap this up. Remove. Let's put my face there. All right, guys, listen. This has been a blast. You guys have been great. Thank you for helping me come up with case design cases, and then thanks to Aragorn for blowing my ideas apart, which in a good way. I'm seriously, I want to build that for myself. But let me run through the end part of this because I got to do it. So we have a Discord. It's free for everybody. It's where a lot of these people are that we're talking. So you can find it in all the link locations. You can go to 2guystech.tv and it's free. It's a place for like-minded people like you and me and you and the people who are in the chat. And I'll stop blathering. Again, next week. I'm sorry. I genuinely apologize, but I'm going to be on vacation and I need it. It's been a week already, and the week is just not even halfway through. So you guys take care of yourselves. If you want, hop over to our Discord and hang out in the after chat and talk. And if not, we will see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, guys.